This is not going to be a cheery video. We were the second farm in our state to get the avian flu.
Excuse me, it's a convention in here. Time to go.
So it started when my sister found a dead peacock in the aviary.
Sadly, we had a little casualty last night. I was feeding the chickens and I noticed a big puffball. And sadly, it was one of our peacocks that we raised. You take care of one another, okay, guys? Yeah, you take care of one another, okay? Don't let this happen again.
And then 2 weeks later, I noticed this bird. That night we went to see it and it wasn't moving at all. So we tried to medicate it and brought it in the garage with a heat lamp to keep it warm, and the next morning it was dead. So we sent it to the vet to see what might be wrong with it. And while we were waiting for the results from the vet, I called a friend of mine who knows everything about peacocks, and he told us to medicate the others with Corid. And so that's what we did. Put syringes down their throat, got really close to them. Catching and holding on to an adult peacock is like being in a prize fight. So we pried the beak open of all 12 peacocks and put the cord down their throat with the syringe, thinking all this time that we're medicating them for coccidiosis. And then 3 days after we've been doing this, we get a call from the Department of Health saying our peacock tested positive for avian influenza. And then 1 day later, this guy shows up. So he tells us that they basically will have to depopulate our flock, and we will be compensated for the birds that they kill. And I ask what happens if we say no. They say then they come with the sheriff and a permit to do it. So you can't really say no. Then we get a call from the county nurse saying that if we develop any of these symptoms, we will have to get tested for avian influenza ourselves.
It honestly makes me a little sad to record this. So anyway, this is how I have to feed the peacocks. We have one peacock that doesn't seem to be feeling so well. Anyway, I'm gonna go feed the peacocks, but this is how we do it.
So they said the Department of Agriculture would come the next day to depopulate the flock. So we basically said goodbye to everyone that night.
They're all here. I'm gonna miss these sounds.
Even the cats were sad. Luckily, nobody in the family had symptoms ever.
Here comes Herbs. Hi, baby.
It's hard because you get affectionate to them, especially when you incubate them yourself. But we're allowed to have birds again in 5 or 6 months because the ground has to be fallow for that amount of time. why did they have to kill the whole flock? It's sort of policy that if they diagnose it in one bird in the flock, everything in that area has to die. And then in terms of protecting your own farm from this, it's difficult because you can walk into your coop with some goose crap on your boot and decimate your own flock that way. But they suggest just keeping your birds indoors at all times if possible. We will miss the little guys.
Let's go. Come on, back home we go. Come on. You too. Come on, honey.
All right, it's egg time. Whoa!